Fuck, I hit the laptop. Anyway, here we go. Here's the famous episode with the particularly stubborn quillfish. It's gonna take the full 10 minutes like I've been saying. Sounds almost like the subtitle to oh, there he is. There is the quillfish of mention. Anyway, when I said a particularly stubborn quillfish, it sounded like the subtitle to a Harry Potter thing, and Harry Potter and the particularly stubborn quillfish. Or something like that. I don't know, I wasn't into Harry Potter. I wasn't into books in general because my brain was all underdeveloped, and I remember in middle school there was this one girl who was super into Harry Potter, and perhaps an unhealthy amount. Every damn day she would talk about the Harry Potter, just Harry Potter this and that, and it never ended. Somebody should have told that bitch to shut up. It sounded better in my head. So, I think old Dean's using mud sport like you saw. Speaking of mud sport, isn't water sports code for like a disgusting sex act? I feel like I read that somewhere. Anyway, yeah, I read that on a political forum because there was that salacious rumor about the certain politician who liked to have people wee on him. But anyway, that's enough about that. This episode's getting weird. So I've lost all my fans, I noticed. I guess my 15 minutes of fame are up. Things were going so well, I was getting baseline views of 15 views per episode, and now we're back down to the usual number of usually just 0 and occasionally 1, and everybody just left. Easy come, easy go, I guess. For 2 brief days, I was on top of the world. I was the most successful on YouTube I had ever been, and now things are just back to the same pitiful state of affairs that they once were. Ooh, that peck is gonna be a good move against our Yamaha. We gotta watch out for that. Better watch out for that. He's gonna get you. I don't know what kind of a voice that was. Okay, here we go again, in vain. I don't know why they made this one particular Pokemon so difficult to catch. I mean, it isn't even a good Pokemon. It can't even evolve. Why does it gotta put up such a goddamn fight? Even Chugga Conroy had trouble with this, the quillfish. Yep, mentioning Chugga Conroy again. Every episode with that. I feel like I'm talking too fast, and I blew through all of my talking points in the first 3 minutes of this episode. There we got Linoon. So what kind of animal is Linoon supposed to be? Maybe like a mongoose or something? I know Zigzag Goon is like a, that's the pre-evolved form. I know that's supposed to be a raccoon, but Linoon does not look like a raccoon of any kind. Its fur is the wrong colors, and it's standing up on 2 legs. Maybe it's supposed to be one of them there Japanese raccoons, the tanukis, or the kabuki. No, I had it right the first time. The tanukis. You know, in mythical Japanese lore and all those Renaissance-type paintings, you see the depictions of the tanukis as these mischievous creatures which have huge ball sacks for some reason. I think that's just kind of artistic license. Are tanukis even a real animal? I don't know. I don't know nothing. Okay, the Yamaha was the first casualty of the particularly stubborn quillfish. Oh yeah, minimize is just gonna make this even more frustrating because it's gonna be harder to hit. You know, when Pokemon Stadium, when a Pokemon would use minimize, I was just a stupid kid, and I was almost fooled that the model had shrunken down a bit slightly, because, in this game they shrink the model down and then just readjust it to the normal size, but in a Pokemon Stadium, they shrink the model down and then the camera cuts away before you can see the model returning to its normal size, so that raises the question of, did the model actually shrink slightly? Well, I don't know. Speaking of Quillfish, there was that funny video with the Jello Apocalypse, and shout out to the best Pokemon, Quillfish, keeping it real since 2001. And since Quillfish is being so obstinate with us, I'm gonna change the saying. Okay, ready? Here goes. Shout out to the worst Pokemon, Quillfish, keeping it real since right up until today. Yeah, there you go. Has anybody made that joke at this point in their Let's Plays before? Is that an original thing to say? Probably. Is Flaffy gonna get poisoned? Okay, nope, I was gonna say, if Flaffy gets poisoned on top of everything else, that would be very inconvenient. Once Linoon goes down, the calculus here is gonna get even more difficult, because it's gonna be 2-1, and we obviously can't hit the Quillfish much more, or it will die. So we have to hit it, but not too much, and you have to thread that needle, and it's very inconvenient. So, think, darn it, think. So Linoon has that arrow on its head like Avatar, the Last Airbender. I might have said this in another episode, but I saw a video that came out around the time when there was that live-action Avatar movie, and at that point the movie was new enough that, that people hadn't collectively decided that it was terrible. It was still an unknown as to whether or not the movie was good, and some kind of interviewer type guy was going to movie theaters, interviewing people, trying to generate hype for the movie, and everyone he interviewed said that the movie was terrible. He's like, "Hey guys, how you doing? You think the movie was pretty good? Tell us all about it." And they're just, "This movie sucked." And every single person he went to shared that opinion. He was hoping to get a big paycheck from whichever studio made Avatar by promoting their movie, and instead quite the opposite happened. He just made the movie producers look like a bunch of damn fools. God, what a terrible movie. I mean, I never saw it, but I never see anything. I live under a rock. But anyway, I heard that apparently they pronounced the main character's name wrong. I mean, what an extremely basic thing to mess up. I mean, that's like if you went to, let's say the Avengers, and instead of calling him Captain America, they called them Captain America. I don't know, I'm just making stuff up. But yeah, go with that. Okay, pretend the movie has an announcer for a second, like the Super Friends cartoon, and we now return to the Avengers, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Captain America, and all the others. I don't fucking know. Yeah, that would ruin the movie if the Avengers producers made an extremely obvious and avoidable mistake like that. Well, there you have it, folks. That gosh darn Quillfish is finally underneath our boot, our collective Let's Play boot. We worked so hard to get here. Well, who's we? You're just sitting there with your thumb up your ass. You didn't do anything to help me. It was me that did it. It's like when sports fans say that we won when their team won. What do you mean we won? You didn't do nothing. Just watching the commercials and hopping up and down, and when your team scores, you had nothing to do with this. So speaking of sports, what's going on in sports land? I don't follow that too much because I'm just a flimsy nerd with no athletic ability. I read in the news that the Browns are going to the playoffs, which is crazy because even someone like me who doesn't know dip about football knows that the Browns are the joke of the whole league. The fact that they've gotten this far is just crazy. Something that you could never... I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, you've always heard how people refer to the Browns Stadium as the factory of sadness. And, yes. Okay, so just taking a quick look at all the different Pokemon we've caught thus far. I think the only one we've missed is Noctowl. There's like a little PDA you can look at that has like a bulleted list of what you have and haven't caught. But I didn't discover that for like another 10 episodes, so you won't get to see that. But yeah, I think we're just missing Noctowl.